Yeah, me too. I'm ready right there with them. Looks like we had some bans come out already. That first pick, blue side, was that Zaya Kaiser makes it through this draft so far. Trajan starting this one out with a bang.
Yeah, the thing I'm thinking at right here, just looking at these bans, is when I look at House, right, and I look at his most successful champions, we've got Azir, LeBlanc, Tristana, and Nico. 3 of those picks are banned, Axeman. 1 of them is not. So do VKS try and deny this? Do Fluxo just slam the Nico in the first rotation? Or do they have something a little bit more for House later in the draft?
Ooh, that filthy Sejuani pick. We're going to circle back to that one, Trajan. Absolutely illegal. Poppy going to be locked in here as well. I know Rue mentioned that one on the desk. Still very strong pick. And flexible between the jungle and the top lane positions. The bot lane is locked in early for Fluxo, Brunsey, and Jojo taking Xayah and Nautilus into the bot lane.
Yeah, the high prio on the Alistar here to be R1 picked by VKS tells me they really want to get value out of the counter pick, right? They want a counter, ideally, in top at the very least, potentially in mid. Or you wouldn't just take an Alistar that no one's ever going to ban away, right? When there's higher prio supports on the Rift. But they're happy to blind the top, it seems. You spoke about the Giga Olaf, and here we go.
Yeah, Giga Olaf bringing it to the table in force. Other carry top laners in the league have been denied this champion, but Guigo got it more than most in the regular split. Now he has it here in the best of 5 in a Fluxo. This is what VKS needed from the first 3 picks. They're going to be looking for a mid laner and an 80 carry in their last 2. But man, oh man, do I ever feel better about these first 3 picks from VKS now that Olaf's locked in.
Yeah, that really just brings it all together as VKS with the Jax ban, focusing on Tay, potentially pushing him more onto that tank utility, maybe the more abusable archetype, as the Sylas ban rounds us out. So some scrim data, I think, coming through here. The House might have been making good use out of that off the stage game, so there is still the Nico available. And Fluxo, they banned the Kai'Sa, right? So even though it's a little bit nerfed, it has been far and away Trigo's best pick, so they want to take that away.
100% Silver been there too. So be forced back onto a weird 80 carry. Now we get the Yuumi
Don't do
over.
this
I
to
don't
us.
believe that for a second.
We just fixed your draft with Olaf, man. We were so suspicious, and then we thought, oh, hang on, it's coming together. Don't put us in the Yuumi hole. In game 1 of the playoffs, Trigo, don't do this.
We'll shatter it one more time with the Yuumi pick. Now, just hover for you here, folks. I'm thinking they probably lock in the 80 carry here, and then we'll get a mid laner from with their last pick. Ezreal, Alistar to open up the best of 5 for Trigo and damage. Fluxo now looking for some solo laners, I would imagine. There's the jungle flex available there too.
This is a pretty hefty mid-game that VKS has put together, but Fluxo, they've got the Xayah late, right? Do they just index fully into late, or do they pick something that can bridge? And there's the Renekton in for Tay.
Renekton, Olaf, extremely volatile lane, 2 carry top laners going at it. We promised you fireworks, folks. We promised you a bloodbath.
No, man.
It's going to be exactly that. How's it the Ahri?
Come on, dude, don't give me that. The Nico's unbanned. The Ahri coming out for a House. This is a pick that some of our players, some of our mid laners have had intense, high impact on. Tinons, Tinkeda, their Ahris are amazing. Grevthar as well. But House just has not looked like, this does not look like the pick for him, right? It has not looked like the way to get the best use out of this player. It has fixed Fluxo's mid game somewhat, but I'm just not convinced with these mid lane matchups, as the Swain has been picked into it. And let me tell you, Ahri does not punish Swain.
No, I don't think so whatsoever. I don't think Grevthar is a resident Swain player. I believe it was Tinons that picks that champion more often than not. But yeah, Swain coming through for Grevthar, gonna have a lot of control over that mid lane and some serious AoE damage in the back half of the game as we move into those skirmishes in the middle part of the game. I think that Fluxo are trying something here. I think they're trying to give Tay some agency, trying to give him some carry weight and build up a team behind him. This 2v2 in the mid lane for Fluxo is not good, but as we push later into the game, it'll be good to set up Tay with a little bit of pick potential.
Yeah, and let's be fair, right? Tay has had a couple of Renekton games. Some of them have been good, some of them have been bad, right? We've had bad lanes, we've had good lanes. It's not been bad across the board on these bruiser picks for him. For me, it just feels like Fluxo potentially opening the door to unnecessary problems in the top lane, where you could just try and lose gracefully up there, as we know Tay can do. Instead, trying to contest Ego on the Olaf, this feels like a very high volatility lane where it just didn't need to be. So it could pay off. or it could be disaster for Fluxo in this game 1. It is just best of 5, right? It's best of game 1 in a series. Losing game 1 is not the end of the world, but I think you're right. They're trying to see if they can use top lane as a potential threat on the map, and if they can, maybe they'll do it again. If not, maybe we go back to mid-split Fluxo antics.
Trajan, I love the games when I can barely hear my co-caster, when the energy is so electric in the arena that maybe you miss a couple words here and there. It is so much fun casting this league. Holy cow. On to Summoner's Rift for the first match in the playoffs 2023 Split 2. Oh my goodness. What a joy it is to be here with you.
Let's go, Axeman. CBLOL playoffs kicking off today. The skies lit up over the Rift as Fluxo and VKS are fighting in the losers bracket. Okay, so early on, we do have an Ari Poppy that's pretty strong skirmish power, right? You've got good single target lockdown there, and Tay has Ignite in top lane, so this guy's making a bit of a statement.
Yeah, he really is. Coming out swinging. Of course, you get that Ghost on the Olaf there too, trying to run down the Croc, get a new pair of boots. We'll have to see here. We've seen this matchup before. Watched FMB play it, actually, and yeah, there's a lot of solo kills. Keep that camera focused up to the top side.
Yeah, we're going to have to get the observers to keep an eye on there for sure. The Ghost Olaf versus the Ignite Renekton. Definitely kill threat to be had as Greftar, in fact, getting very aggressive in that early stage. Hit all of those bolts from the Q as an early HP lead to play with.
And you get a little combo there. The Electrocute will hit and proc for House, but it's just not enough damage. Loses the trade pretty hard here as well. 2v2 going to come out.
Oh, damage shot but never low. The Ignite's already been used by Jojo. That 2v2 already coming up big for Fluxo. If there's potential struggles in mid and top, maybe they're going to have to rely on this bot lane.
Nautilus is so strong, and Xayah perhaps even stronger. This 2v2 is not good whatsoever, but the fireworks already hearing. Can you hear the fuse?
You can see the fight going on in top lane. Gigo using all of that level 1 Olaf power to zone Tay away from the minions, but he gives up several himself, and the HP trade is fairly even. Gigo with the advantage does have the biscuits for those HP trades.
If you got the biscuits, you got the lane, right? Axe comes out, no level 2. Oh, he does pick up level 2, actually. Yeah. Tay forced to back off now. Very close matchup between these two champions. Oftentimes down to the skill, being able to land individual axes and reset your E as well if you're Olaf. That true damage really comes in clutch for you.
Yeah, if Tay can use the slice and dice to dodge an undertow to prevent that extra slow coming through, it can be life or death for him. As you can see, the red wards in that topside river, right? They're watching for a Disarmus early gank that's going to try and disrupt Gigo, who's trying to hold down Tay, and they want to make sure that Poppy doesn't ruin that.
And if you're Tay, you're not even playing for vision because you know it's coming, right? You know that Sejuani's coming up early and trying to get first blood down onto you. How many times have we seen in the CBLOL Trajan a Sejuani get first blood just by walking up topside? If you're Renekton, you're playing slow and you're playing very far back in your lane, but it might not save him. Grell is topside. Grell is level 3. Trajan, it's looking dangerous here.
The Samus was hovering, but he's left now. Tay goes in for a nice little trade, uses the stun, has the Ignite. Grell, can they get the CC down? Gigo drops lower. First flash is in for the first blood for Grell. He's tanking up, though. It's going to be the trade.
It'll be the trade. Gigo with some gold. First blood onto that Sejuani. Almost like we manifested that one. Flash in the mid lane. Greftar has to get out.
Trades his flash instead of his HP, right? Probably not going to die there, but doesn't want to get pushed out, have to TP early. Instead, uses the flash, and a lovely roam from Jojo to put the pressure back onto VKS. And good job for Tay to get out in a 1v1, or a 1-for-1, I should say, in that top side. You know, it could have gone a lot worse for him, but he didn't have TP. He lost a lot of minions there.
Certainly, the CS numbers are what's really going to hurt him here, and that's why Grell puts in so much work to get that Croc turned into boots. That is double buffs going down to no one. Gigo going to walk away with a big CS lead and control over this lane. But make no mistake, Trajan, it's not over whatsoever. This is still a very volatile lane. The solo kill potential for the Renekton is still massive. You have to be careful if you're Gigo.
Yeah, 100%. And Gigo lost the Ghost and the Flash, right? So he doesn't have as much of his own kill threat, just hitting an Undertow and then popping Ghost and running you down. There is a little bit more for Tay to play with, as long as he can be protected up here and Grell doesn't start some sort of snowball. Desamus, you can see on that top side right now, getting that top side scuttle, making sure that there is a bit of vision for him to keep him safe.
And you can see the look in Gigo's eyes, too, right? He smells a rat. He knows Desamus is up topside with him. And now suddenly it's him having to play far back in the lane. Respect the jungle pressure. They'll see that Scryer's Bloom on the map there as well. And play just a little bit safer, trying to mitigate the damage up topside as much as they can and play things out a little bit safer. But now to the bottom side of the map, you have to start looking around that dragon, right? Who's going to play for it? Who's going to have the better macro? And who will get the objective?
Yeah, VKS, usually the team that loves to play around that bot side. Fluxo as well, as the Desk went into, have a very strong 2v2 to play with. They've got themselves a bit of a CS lead here. They seem comfortable down here, Bronzy and Jojo, and they have the better scalers, right? Ezreal great in the mid game, not as bad late game as he used to be, but not going to stack up to a Xayah post 35 minutes.
Nasty trade mid lane. Greftar picks up a bunch of damage. Nails House there. You can't take too many of those. Meanwhile, topside, it's a little bit of a slow push. Look at what Gigo's been building for him. What is that, two waves worth of caster minions and a cannon? That's nasty.
Yeah, and again, we have Grell up here, but Desamus has now rotated down onto the bot side. So if this gets hairy, there is no assistance from the Fluxo jungler. But Grell will complete that recall, and Gigo with level 6 as well. Let's see how Tay handles this, as he really wants to get a lot of those minions. He can't safely farm them in the face of Olaf. He's got to pick him up under tower.
Yeah, and if you're Tay, you got to be thinking, where is Grell, man? Where is Grell? I cannot get Dove again. I just can't deal with that. He will get these waves, though, as Grell, fortunately, is on the opposite side of the map, looking to convert on the dragon pressure around this bottom side. He wants to assist his bot lane. This is how teams win games in Season 13, is through bot, and you cannot ignore that lane if you want to win this game. Grell, now he's in the river, playing for pressure.
You have the level 6 achieved by Greftar. He's got that Demonic Ascension to play with on the Lost Chapter. A much stronger inventory for him than House right now, as the Hextech is alive. It looks like both teams want to get scrappy over it. No TPs on the top laners, remember. There is no flank angles to be had here. If it's a straight 4v4, it's just going to be even square.
Not very much by way of early game for VKS either, right? I mean, if you're banking on Ezreal damage coming out here pre-6, it's just not going to happen. So Grell and Damage will have to back up, and they'll have to concede at least control of the Dragon Pit. Meanwhile, Gigo, he's seen everybody on the map. He's ready to fight.
It's in top lane. Knights are down. Tay with a 1v1 kill. How can we talk this man down when he solo kills Gigo like that?
Dominus is just too powerful, man. Holy cow, he ripped through Gigo. And this is what we were talking about, Trajan. Totally volatile. Anybody can win. Full-blown skill matchup. He's going to get platings off that turn. Meanwhile, the rest of his team, what are they doing? They're taking down the dragon.
Yeah, check on RMC on the desk, guys. He called for a carry for Tay, and he just solo killed one of our most prolific carry top laners. What a start in the top side for Fluxo. After getting 2v1 dived, Tay is not discouraged. And that's so good for Fluxo, right? They don't have to necessarily worry about that Olaf becoming a snowballing threat into mid-game if Tay can handle that himself.
We wanted Tay Unleashed, and we are getting Tay Unleashed. Trajan, this is everything we could have hoped for out of game 1 of this best of 5. Stay tuned for the rest of the games here. We're going to be here for several hours for more CBLOL action. And now they're playing around the top side. It's all about the Rift Herald. Gigo, he's been put back on the back burner, but his team's here to support him now.
Looks like VKS with a timely rotation through here. Good vision placed down by Damage. They will have full control of this Herald. It's going to be easily picked up by Fluxo. Unless the Samus wants to go for a late Poppy ult. He's committed to Keeper's Verdict. It's already gone down.
Wow!
And he might go for the fight. No, Damage pushed back out to Demonic Ascension, but he doesn't have any Zonyas or anything. House wants to complete this kill with the Ignite, but it's not quite there. And Gigo's found Desamus. Fluxo couldn't quite get it over the line, and they're the ones running for the hills.
Fluxo with some seriously low health bars. That could have been disastrous for them. VKS almost picking up 3 kills in this Rift Herald fight, but as it stands, it's just the Rift Herald, Trajan. Nothing too big to worry about yet. They haven't dropped it, haven't converted on that gold, but holy cow, VKS looking in form. This is what we wanted going into this game. Which VKS is going to show up? It's looking like the good VKS to me.
keeping Grevthar topped up in that mid lane. You can see he's gone into the Merc Treads. It's going to be so hard to actually eliminate this Swain. You have to either burst him out or back away and let the ultimate time out. They didn't quite have the damage from House and Jojo with the Jojo Ignite to get that job done. And that is only going to get harder to complete, X-Man, as this game goes on.
Yeah, and so much of the value we see from the Swain pick in this skirmish is represented. And he's just able to survive, right? He takes so much damage and just lives through it anyway with the Demonic Ascension. Beautiful play there from Grevthar, really showing that we got more than a few Swain players in the CBLOL. But the CLE progresses, going to the rest of the game.
Gonna come out the woodwork, I imagine, with these Swain games coming out. It's looking
Trigo,
awful valuable right here. Trigo with the hook buffers the arcane shift, and he's got to get away. But it's going to be full wave control for Brunsey and Jojo, at least until damage can get back and help him out.
Just a matter of discipline that Brunsey doesn't blow Featherstorm there and try to kill Trigo. They're going to let him live for the time being. It's 3-stack topside. Tay, holy cow. A veritable firing squad is coming for him topside.
Oh, he's
here.
got a herald.
Look good.
Grell's got a herald. He's got an ult almost in just 7 seconds until the Glacial Prison comes up. If Tay is in the wrong side of this minion wave, in 3, 2, 1, over the wall, gets away, but still gets stunned on the slice and dice, has to flash, but there's the ult, there's the ghost. It's still enough to keep Tay alive.
Wow.
Another W from Swain will chip him down even lower, but at least he lives.
Grevthar bringing that zone control from across the map there, and that Rift Herald coming through just like you said. Big pop heal. That Rift Herald is going to be sent packing. We'll see if it gets that charge off. Yeah, a little delayed pay. Hopefully everybody's still owing in the crowd. Tay still here. We'll see. Pops the Dominus.
He's getting that Q up, but there comes the Herald. It is still going to land. It's a couple of plates picked up as well. Desamis, Jojo with a hook, and there's no ult for Gigo. If they can burst him down, they can get some kills back here, and Tay goes on a killing spree off the timely roam from his jungle support.
Up to 3 kills on the Croc. At what point do we start ringing those alarm bells that Tay's going to hard carry this game, Trajan? I'm already ringing mine. I don't know about you. I got my cowbell here going, and yeah, it's looking like Tay's day to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Tay has been known to carry a game or two in his time with the pocket picks like the Kale, with the Rumble games earlier this split. With the tools, he can get the job done, and at the very least can keep Fluxo with their heads above water until Brunsey is ready to step up, right? He's got the Kraken Slayer completed. He's going to be working towards that Navori's, and that Xayah is going to be another whole carry in their own right.
Grell somehow, impossibly, with the most gold in the game right now. Not sure how that's breaking down. Tay not even making the top 2, bringing up 3rd after his AD carry. Brunsey probably for the best. Speaking of Brunsey, the CS numbers from this guy are wild right now. The big Rift Herald plays, all these big top lane plays have allowed Brunsey to sit in safety down the bot lane and continue stacking up those CS numbers. This Xayah is going to be massive with a capital M, Trajan. Watch for it in the late game.
Yeah, and this is the pick that they B1'd, right? They were happy to blind this at this stage. Leave the Kai'Sa behind as the Samus goes in, doesn't find a stun or a charm from House, and Grell hasn't got the blue buff. I think Desamis managed to steal that one away if he can get out clean. Damage over the wall, walks straight into 3 members. House trying to zone out Grevthar, and Fluxo trying to fire back with Brunsey as Gigo's found a solo kill in top lane. Fluxo really don't want to lose more on the map right now, but Grello comes out to Jojo, and Desamis interrupted by damage. VKS play this river fight out beautifully, and they find kills across the map.
Brunsey survives still from the time being. They got that side in the open. Whoa, Tay goes down to Gigo on the opposite side. Holy cow. Definitely looking forward to that replay. The turret will go down there too for Gigo. I mean, yeah, we can't say it enough, right? It's anybody's game up in the top lane. Every single 1v1. That dragon will go down to VKS there first. Get us in the replays. Look at this.
Oh, let's
come on. Undertow connects early on in the fight. Dominus available, but so is Gigo's ult. They're going to both proc at the same time. The agreement comes through. True damage comes out. And holy cow, that reset was absolutely phenomenal for Gigo. Very accomplished Olaf play.
Yeah, a bad miscalculation by Tay there. Without the Ignite, just could not take that 1 versus 1 and loses his tower for it as well. It's first turret gold into VKS's pocket. They're over 2,000 gold ahead now. after what's been a very back and forth early game, hitting the 40-minute mark as plates fall off. So Fluxo, they do have late game conditions to play around, but it's not necessarily going to be the easy mid game that we thought it might be, with Grevthar doing okay, with Gigo getting that goal back in his favor.
Beautiful so far. Things kind of neutralize a little bit. Tay down bot side here. He has the angle, and Grevthar could go in, but Demonic Ascension is available. Dominus is not.
He's got it now. He's got Ignite as well. If he can get that burst, he's going to get slowed by the W, but Tay is going wild on him, and this was an easier fight for him.
Yeah, I'll say the Ignite came up just in time. I think he was waiting in that bush for it to come back up, so you could use it to neutralize a little bit of the Demonic Ascension. Beautiful play, man. Just an intelligent fight from Tay. Now it's on the Rift Herald. It'll go down simply. Poppy all out.
Oh, Trigo didn't get over the wall. There's the knock-up into the stun. Brunson wants to complete it, but Grail zones him away. Gigo on his own, just off the flash, but the charm lands, and they should be able to make it happen. Brunson finds that kill. And again, Fluxo, they lose the Herald, but they get a kill on the outside this time.
Yeah, and a nice little turret kicker on the side here as well. Tay will pick that one up, but yeah, another objective in the pockets of VKS, and specifically a Grell too, who's becoming a very large Sejuani. Brunson in the mid lane, you got to be careful. Headbutt Pulverize is waiting for you.
Gets on top of him, has to drop the Feather Storm. Trigo still eating forward for even more damage. Brunson holds on to his summoners, but not a lot else, and Grell is there with the Herald to drop if he wants.
Yeah, he'll hang on to it for the time being. It's a near thing there in the mid lane for Brunson. You got to be careful, but Featherstorm will save him. That damage coming out of Trigo, and the Trigo coming out of damage, extremely dangerous.
They're hitting that Triforce Spikecrat, a big boost for the Edge Shield, going to be working towards that Mermana as well. And this could be a big spike for him. TP into the mid lane from Grevthar with the Herald. They get at least one tower here. Hook goes onto the front line. Brunson is there to try and punish VKS with a massive pullback. And Grail goes down. Brunson on the front line taking a lot of poke.
No!
Jojo is on a sliver as Fluxo are certainly hurting, but they found the kill and they'll stop a second charge.
And you can see it's just a few autos away from Brunson fully killing VKS there. But in kind, so much damage coming from Brunson as well. Ooh.
Flashes are there. Howl's on the wrong side of town, but will just slip through the jungle. Gigo losing that flash. Hopefully keeps Brunson safe for a little longer, but he has got no summoners left now.
This game is about one thing and one thing only, Trajan. Hunt that Xayah. If you could get onto the Xayah, VKS, you can win the game. They're up gold now. Now is the perfect time. You're only falling off from here where you have that gold stacked. You gotta get onto Brunson. Gotta find a way to lock him down and send him back to the fountain.
It's very tough, right? It's going to come down to that Brunson positioning and maybe that the peel from the Samus and Jojo. Xayah, the whole point of this champion is that she's great disengage. It's hard to get on top of her with the Featherstorm, with the Blade Caller. And if Brunson positions well, it's a tall task ahead of VKS in those later fights. But looks like they might be willing to contest this river right now. Still a minute on the Dragon, but there's clearly a lot of confidence on both of these sides to take a fight.
So much so, right? And well-deserved. Lots of damage stacked on both sides and lots of gold, too. This game is everything we wanted in a game one and more. This isn't going to be a stompy 3-0, I don't think. Trajan, these two teams much more evenly matched than any of us expected. I think you had 3-2 for Fluxo.
I did.
You had the correct read, my friend. That is absolutely what we are watching unfold before us. Two very evenly matched teams.
Yeah, me and Rude had the 3-2s on either side. We thought it might be a tricky one for either side, and this has been a street fight so far. These fights have been so brutal, just picking hard 1v1s and almost winning them going both ways. Either side could take them at any time. We just can't split them right now, and all we have to look out for, I guess, is in series like this, where you work so hard for a game one. You try and try and try, you fight till the very end, and you still lose. Sometimes teams can lose their fight, right? The fire can go out if they get a really tough loss in game one. Now in CBLOL, we've got passion and fire in spades, right? We've got extra to go around, and I dare say we won't be seeing that today as Damage is looking in mid lane, but won't get in range.
Certainly will be seeing it. Celebrations are what makes CBLOL so famous internationally, but in between those celebrations, it's just cold as ice from the players. You look into their eyes, and it's absolute focus as they try and make these plays happen. The Dragon goes down uncontested for VKS, their second of the game, as they continue their press on to these neutral objectives. Just the one Dragon so far for Fluxo, but two for VKS, and both Rift Heralds. Grell, huge on this Sejuani. We get to see why this was the second pick for them. Such an important player on this team. Tay, he's on the hunt. He finds Grigo.
Going for Grigo, but it's not a 1v1 this time, and the Ignite is ready. Disamus is in. Surely they can get this one over the line, but Tay's dropping lower. Gigo finds one. Don't tell me he finds two. Misses the undertow, needs to land this one. You got to lock Disamus in place. There's the slow. There's the healing. A heroic charge, and Disamus saves it. Oh my goodness, Gigo almost had his number, and House is there to ward away Grell.
That's so close. As an Olaf player myself, you always have to keep in the back of your head, I could just kill both of these guys, right? And here, Gigo, he gets so close, and he does so much work dodging Disamus' abilities. That was a very, very close fight. But once again, we have both top laners down in the dust. Fireworks, folks. We promised it, and we're delivering.
Yeah, these fights that Tay is picking, man, they're a little coin flippy, I'll be honest. Sometimes they're good ideas, sometimes they're just really not. And that was even with the Ignite, right? That second item Jack show coming in huge, as we'll see in the replay.
It's Tay, he waits for his perfect moment, waits for Gigo to overthrow the axe so he can't get that reset, doesn't have that cooldown, and even that is not enough to save him. Gigo, you're never stronger on Olaf than you are with one health to your name, and Tay finds out the hard way. It ain't over till it's over, Trajan.
Yeah, good job to Disamus for holding his nerve and taking that 1v1 to at least make it even, but that threat is so real still from Gigo heading into this mid game. He's hit that 2-item spike, the healing is massive. You've really got to hold that Ignite until he's actually low, right? Because that's when the healing gets massive for him. If you use the Ignite when he's still 70% HP, he's got plenty more value to get out of that passive.
Certainly, and love seeing Olaf work on this stage. Seeing it get banned is the biggest tragedy for me. Little fight, mid lane.
Oh, they engaged on Disamus, but or damage, I should say, but he happily finds the 3-man knockup. Look for Brunsey. He's been stunned up and has to flash to safety, but they're sticking to him like glue. Defenders come in, but Trigo's found his man, and the late game carry for Fluxo has already fallen, and the team fight collapses for the blue side without the Xayah ready for them. VKS with a massive win, and the Baron is live, Axeman.
Just a matter of time if you're a VKS stand. The Hunters find their mark. And Brunsey is in the dirt. Now it's on to the Baron as they try to push their neutral objective advantage. They are totally dominant on Summoner's Rift. Trajan up 3k gold. The power play already up to 1.5. They're going to be taking everything they can from Summoner's Rift over the next 3 minutes. And Trajan, oh my goodness, I didn't even give them a game in my prediction, but VKS are showing up.
They're coming to take that game, man. They're coming for it hard. 4k ahead now to see the replay. Fluxo wanted this fight, but you don't want to engage on the Alistair, surely.
Surely not. Headbutt pulverized, push Brunsey directly into the opposite backline, right where Trigo wants him, and that is exactly where Trigo is going to dump all that damage. Another fight!
Fluxo already burning down Jojo very, very low as damage. Half HP as well, with the Baron on deck for VKS. Those Vigo split pushing Olafs become even more deadly. Bunsey lost both his summoners in that fight as well. He's got 2 items, but that positioning has to be perfect, or VKS have the tools to catch him.
Gigo is an absolute menace in the side lane. He's got Grell supporting him this time as well. Will be the 2v2 down here. Actually, Fluxo bringing more than a few members. This could be a big fight. Now, bot side, they want this turret, VKS.
We've seen them committing more members down, not going for a 4-1. They're holding that bot side jungle instead. Fluxo happy to dedicate members. They won't take much tower damage. And so far, the Baron power play hasn't been hugely impactful. A couple of K in BKS's pocket. But they need to be so scared of that Downgrade. You can see them taking the safe way around, not walking into the shadows because VKS are waiting.
Yeah, to go into your own jungle would certainly spell death for any member of Fluxo. How's being caught out?
How's the ult caught him, and the Ezreal clips him behind the tower. VKS with another perfect execution as damage is in from the flank. Disamus stuns him up. Jojo dropping lower. Brunsey's rotated down, but this fight's already over. Or is it?
Tur will fall.
Fights the ult. K drops the ultimate, he's dropping ever lower, gets a root onto Grabdar. If they can burst him down, this could be huge. And Brunsey trades one back, but Tay could not make it out. VKS still got to be happy with that.
They certainly have to be. One more turret down, but critically control of the map right before this dragon spawns. Gigo, he still wants more, and he's going to get it with the strength to take down this mid lane turret here, too. Look at the damage. Trigo is starting to come online. We've seen 40, 45, 50,000 damage in games from Ezreal's throughout this CBLOL split, Trajan. Trigo looking to match that.
For anyone who saw our trivia video that we put out this week, Ezreal has the highest DPM of any champion in the CBLOL right now. It also has 0 wins in the CBLOL in this split too. Trigo is trying to rectify that right now. 5-0-1-2, putting up massive damage, huge plays, great positioning, aggressive shifts when required. Trigo is looking oh so strong right here. When the finals are calling, man, Trigo and damage, they want to be there.
Giving VKS this draft of all drafts is a huge mark of trust from the organization onto these players who they believed in from the start of the split. Even when things started to go bad, even when they had some chaos, the Cade Stars never stopped believing in this roster. And that communication, that belief between organization and players is showing up huge for them in this series. They look like they are confident, and that confidence is winning them the game.
Yeah, they're back to that week 1 VKS form, right, where we thought these guys looked like one of the best teams in the league. Now, it quickly dropped up after that. They looked confused. They didn't look like they knew how to play, who to play around, but they seem to have got it sussed out right in the nick of time as Fluxo getting aggressed on Brunsei, forced to ult again. The Samus can eat that ult without too much issue, but Brunsei drops slower, flashing from Grell. This Xayah needs to get the heck out of there.
You certainly do there. True Shot Barrage gonna chunk Brunsei way out. Now they're playing for inhib turret, and Tay's on the back foot. This could go down uncontested.
Now it's TPing back in to push them back, but VKS holding strong on the push. Tay needs to deal with Gigo in that top lane as Brunsei's healed up, ready to fight again. They've got a hook onto damage. He pops the ultimate. JJ dragged back in by Grevthar. He's under tower right now, but look at the damage. Look at the tankiness. Fluxo can barely get a look in under their own turret.
Tay's still waiting in the wings, but Cade Stars will back off for the time being, going back to the base to lick their wounds, having dumped plenty of damage into both Fluxo and Fluxo's base as well. All the waves are pushing in every single lane for VKS. They have total control of the map. They have a massive gold lead, Trajan. Everything is coming through and spelling out a VKS victory here in game 1. And what a black eye this would be to put on the face of Fluxo.
Now, Fluxo do have a late game to arrive at, right? They've got the 3, 4, 5 item Xayah to achieve. Ahri still has plenty of items to finish. You can see it is more of a damage-heavy Ahri build. It's not a Merc Treads or Lucidity Boots Banshee's angle. He's gone into the Void stuff, going for Morellos now to deal with all of the healing that VKS have. Fluxo have places to go with this draft, but if VKS are playing right, they will not give Fluxo a chance to get there. They can't let them sit under their turret and farm up. VKS need to keep that confidence, keep that running, keep that decisiveness running, and try and end this game out quick.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You gotta close these games out into Fluxo. You can't let this team get to the super late game and coin flip victories. You're trying to play from behind. This is 6th versus 5th seed, and you have to close those games out. We'll mention about the build so far. Trigo, he's got the stasis in the inventory, does not have cleanse, but still has flash up for this next fight. So he's got plenty of tools to stay alive. You look back at Brunsei, it's just that cleanse. There's no stasis. Very easy target, but Featherstorm maybe providing a little bit of safety. Remember, all VKS have to do is hunt down the Messiah, and they will win the team fight.
Yeah, he's got that 3 items on a Brunsei. Easy ult pop by Grell, and again, that one defensive tool is already gone. Grell has been so good for these. The Samus gets aggressive, but has to run away too. Both of these teams eyeing each other up across the river, but no one's found that key engage yet.
No Featherstorm now, and Fluxo can't fight.
Oh, Jojo on vision, can't get back through, drops a hook at least onto damage as Brunsei's trying to lay down some hurt as the Samus has been eliminated, and you can see the carries of Fluxo already in full retreat, but House has been picked up by Grevthar, barely escapes the slows with the Spirit Rush, but he is going to have a long walk back to base as Brunsei is left on his own to take this game to defend the Nexus. Can he pull the Titan base defense, or will VKS lock up this first win?
Brutsy now with no cleanse, no flash, no ultimate, no stasis. Will have to defend. It's going to be incredibly difficult. Trigo has everything up.
5 seconds on Jojo, 10 on Desamis. He goes golden, but they're just going to surround him. They're going to swarm him, and he gets murdered by Grevthar. The towers are dropping in VKS. We asked them to finish this game quickly, and within 2 minutes, it looked like they'd had it done. But a perfect keeper's verdict from Desamis might keep them alive just a little longer. Another hook lands, but House has to do the damage. There's no Brutsy. There's no DPS. Taze off the fountain, but VKS stand tall at the end of that fight, and they will surely complete this victory as Grevthar seals the deal. House drops for the last time, and VKS open up this series 1-0.